This year, God has revealed himself to us in many ways. God has taken us deeper into a relationship with him. He has shown us his many attributes. He has shown us his mercy, his love, his faithfulness, and his grace. God has shown us himself.
To me, God's mercy means God had great pity on me when I was in distress and hopelessness. In the past of my life, I had to go through a very hard time for some years. I just couldn't pray to God because I felt some obstacle between me and God. But I couldn't find out what's wrong with me. And also I couldn't hear God's voice when I read the Bible. My soul looked upon him and faith for him, but I couldn't find any satisfaction from him. I was so helpless and very desperate. It was like a complete darkness to me. It was like a dry land where I couldn't feel any satisfaction from him. But God had a pity on me after some years of struggle. God made me in a complete hopelessness and helplessness. He showed me he had a plan for me in that situation. God made me realize that he wanted me to belong, to be satisfied with only himself. He wanted me to feel inner sense of joy from the fact that he himself is my life and he's my reward. He had a great pity on me when I was in hopeless distress. And also, even now, he meets me in a mercy seat of the Ark of the Covenant, where my sin is completely covered by the blood of Christ, and he himself is present upon it. This is what God's mercy means to me.
God's love. God's love is amazing. It is a love by which all love is measured. It is the standard. It is the unchanging love that everyone is searching for. King David in his Psalms of praise could say this about God's love. Your unfailing love, O Lord, is as vast as the heavens. How precious is your unfailing love, O God. Paul, the apostle, talked to the Corinthians about the love of God. He said it is patient and kind, not jealous or boastful, not proud or rude. God's love does not demand its own way. It's not irritable. It is never glad about injustice. Love never gives up. God's love endures through every circumstance. God's love will last forever. God himself spoke about his great love through the prophet Zephaniah. And this is what he said about his love for his children. The Lord your God is with you. I am mighty to save. I will take great delight in you. I will quiet you with my love. I will rejoice over you with singing. God tells us he loves us in the Bible, but he shows us he loves us at the cross. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. Surely we can agree with the Apostle John who wrote these words. We know what real love is, because Christ gave up his life for us. Love so amazing, love so divine, demands my life, my soul, my all.
When talking about God in the Bible, Psalm 119 verse 90 says that your faithfulness continues through all generations. You establish the earth and it endures. God's always been faithful. He's faithful in his creation. He's been faithful, as we've seen through studying the Bible, through history. He's been faithful to his creation of humankind, to the giving of the most precious thing that he had to die for us. And it doesn't stop there. I don't see God giving his most precious thing to die for us just to leave us to go on with their own thing and not be there for us. As each of us have experienced this year, God has been faithful, and we know that He will continue to be faithful. We've learned of God's faithfulness, and we're willing to put our lives into His hands because we can trust in Him.
God's grace. Grace is truly a magnificent word. It means to receive something that you do not deserve to get. Grace does not ask who you are or what you have done. Grace finds goodness in everything. The grace God has shown exceeds everything. Despite all the wrong things all humans have done against God, God still chose to send His Son, Jesus Christ, to give all humans the possibility to come back to God. Only by putting their faith in Jesus can this be done. We all deserve to spend eternity apart from God. But because of Jesus and what He has done for us, all of us, we can now spend eternity with God. This is true grace, and it is to be found at Calvary, which also is the heart of Christianity. Because of grace, John Newton could write the song, "Amazing grace, how sweet a sound, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see."
We have heard that God is God. God is love, God is grace, God is merciful, and God is faithful. So having heard these things, surely we can say that God is God. We try to talk about God with languages that don't really do Him justice. We use words like majesty, awesome, and Father. But do they really sum up God? God is often referred to as omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, or all-knowing, all-powerful, and present everywhere. Again, these words fall short of God. A God that we try to put in a box and dress up. Let's come back to what we have heard tonight and acknowledge that God is love, God is grace, God is merciful, and God is faithful. With this in mind, how fantastic it is that God, who is all of these things, is our God. We are able to call Him our God, but also words like our Maker, our Father, our Shelter, our Rock, and our Deliverer. This is our God, a God that is God.